What's good, you guys? Thank you for joining me again on another episode of the Urban Blog Experience. Like I said in the last episode, today's episode is going to be a continuation of the last episode. So this is the part two. Enjoy.
You are welcome to the Urban Blog Experience podcast.
What is your understanding of? It's actually two questions. What is your understanding of complexity, and how does that relate with moving with intent? What does it mean to move with intent?
I feel like if something is complex, you can't really approach it with the right intensity due to the complexity of the matter, you know. But
How do you mean by that? Like, can you break that down? What kind of intensity?
however you want to look at, I feel like if it's complex, you can't really put in the right effort while remaining present due to the complexity of the matter.
Right.
Yeah, because as well, it will always feel like you're not moving forward if it's too complex, you know. But if you break it down and simplify it, you could approach the situation with the right amount of intensity and clarity.
And how do you do that? By breaking it down?
By breaking it down.
How do you break it down?
So let me just take boxing for example. Like you have to build a foundation.
Yeah.
You know, first of all, understand why you want to be boxing. Cool, you get that. Then it's time to work on the basics. Look at it as this is actually going to enhance me further down the line. Okay, but in order for that to be possible, I need to be present in this moment of embracing the fact that I get to work on the fundamentals and finding joy in doing that. You know?
I get it.
Finding joy in doing that, then that is how you approach it with the right amount of intensity that is going to be able to get streamlined during your journey.
So how does that... and
It gives you
moving with
clarity.
Yeah.
It gives you clarity.
Right.
And takes away confusion.
Okay.
Whether you're doing it right or not, because you know you're doing the right thing.
Whether you're doing it right or wrong or not, but as long as you're aware and you have the clarity that yes, I'm doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Oh, can you do the right thing the wrong way?
That's a question, man. What is right and wrong? You see? That is.
I just had to. I saw that. I was like,
You know,
should I move? I'm throwing it out. But yeah,
what is right and what is wrong to a certain degree? Yeah. You could do the right things. You can do it wrong, but that doesn't make it wrong.
Right.
You know, it might make it wrong from a different point of view. But if you feel what you're doing and it's actually working for you, if it's not textbook way, it's your way, but it's still what is written in the textbook, then it's not wrong.
Basically, you find a way to make things work for you.
Yeah, like 2 + 2, you could approach it in a simple way, it's 4, or you could break it down in a way
3
where to
+
someone
1.
else it might just feel like it's like, what is this guy doing? He's making it too complex. But for you, the way you did it, it made it simple for you, simple enough for you to come to get to the same answer. You know, so it's perspectives.
I feel you 100%. What you just said about the example, I'm just thinking. So 2 + 2 is 4. 5 - 9 is 4. 3 + 1 is 4. At the end of the day, the answer is still 4, but we've just had different approach towards getting the result of 4. 100%. Got it. And what does moving with intent? What does it mean?
I feel like moving with intent is a blend of everything: physical, mental, emotional, spiritual. You know, if it's all aligned, you're able to. It will not feel like a chore. It's just gonna flow naturally. And when it flows naturally, you can decide the amount of intent you put in it. It's about being aware of what you're doing. You know, if I want this to flourish, I might just need to focus now in this moment for it to actually flourish, you know, for me to have a harvest out of this seed, you know. So each time I'm approaching my plant, I'm not mindlessly watering it. I'm watering it with intent behind it. I want it to grow. You see, so in that moment, you're not mindlessly watering the plant. I'm just gonna pour water over the plant and it's gonna grow. No, you're looking at this plant and you want it to grow. So you're gonna water this plant and you might maybe speak to it in a way, you know, you're gonna
speak to the plant.
Yeah.
I've heard about
if you might
I've heard about an experiment that someone, I'm not sure how I came across it, but they planted 2 seeds and it was supposed to germinate. And one, they were speaking good things into it. Oh, you're wonderful. You're an amazing plant. You're going to be fruitful. All of those good stuff. While the other one, they were just cussing it out. You're worthless, you know. And it actually manifested in those plants. Like the one that had good things spoken to it, germinated properly, brought out flowers and all of that. And the other one didn't. Eventually, I think it died. When I heard it the first time, I was like, oh, can I believe this? I didn't get a chance to fact check it, but is that what you're talking about, speaking to the plant, or is there something else that you're referring to? Was that
No, exactly that. You know, the intent behind that action of you watering that plant is you want it to grow, but you don't just want it to grow dead. You want it to grow and flourish, you know? So that's the same thing with you, with whatever you want to do. Have the right intent behind it. However, do not let it be mindless intent. Let it be mindful intent.
I feel you. Talking about mindful intent, I can relate that to intentionality too, right? You have to be intentional about what you're doing, be intentional about the reason why you're doing it, the results you want to get out of it, while of course enjoying the journey, because we're always about the journey too. So I get that part of it. Well, what led you to spirituality, and how did you find it, and how has the journey been for you?
Spirituality, that's a deep one. Like growing up, you kind of get like you have this typical way of, oh, you have to go to church every Sunday, boom boom. So then you get like this grasp of God. You don't really understand it. You might maybe just even go to church for the food or for the people you're gonna,
or you want to go see your crush.
The people you're gonna meet, these type of things. But then as the journey goes on, you kind of like, for me, I did have a grasp of what God meant to me, just being higher energy, higher source, you know. That's how I developed. Then just questioning a lot, you know, like how is this, how is that, why would people refer to Yeshua as God if he's actually just like me, and he actually never said refer to me as God. You know, I've gone through that journey. And then one fateful day, I met someone who then led me into Christianity, let's say a year ago, that led me into Christianity. So that's how I linked that to be spiritual, you know, when I felt like that was the way. But then it just, after a while, it didn't really sit with me. I felt like that's not it. That's not the way it's meant to be. We are not meant to be boxed in and to just walk between the walls of that box, you know. It's greater than that. And then things came on my path, certain videos, certain readings, and then I just began to resonate. Like, this is actually where I was heading towards already. It kind of got suppressed a bit, although me walking as a Christian did give me a better understanding in some ways, you know, but I just felt like that label is actually what causes a lot of destruction.
The label of Christianity.
Even among Christians. Yeah. So that already made me be like, nah, this is not it. This is not it. This is really not it. And then diving deeper into what Yeshua actually was preaching, that the kingdom of God is within, that you are the same thing. What we refer him to be is the same thing you and I are. You see, but it takes a certain amount of guts to see that and go with that, know that that's actually it. Because when you look at it, like, people are like, oh, God is omnipresent. You see, cool, God is omnipresent. So I then gonna say he's omnipresent, but then once it comes to yourself, there is a barrier. He's not within you.
But I mean, we are not omnipresent, are we?
I feel like each one of us are an expression of that truth. You know,
what truth is that?
Of God. I like to say, if I got created by the Creator, what does that make me? Made to create too. You know, if I belong to the greatest, what does that make me? Great too. So I'm not separate of creation, because the way you see your reality, the way you see, is exactly how your reality going to be. Your vision doesn't start in front of your eyes, it starts behind your eyes. You see, it starts from within.
Right.
So for me, I came to the realization that the Spirit of God flows within, and I don't need to go to an external source to manifest a better reality for me. I actually need to go within, because everything I need is within me, you know?
I feel you. I get what you're saying 100%.
So if I need God, and if I need high energy, I need to be in unity with me.
With your inner self.
You see?
I feel it's interesting, because obviously Christianity has, well, some parts of Christianity has made it seem like there is only one blueprint, there is only one way to go about being a Christian, which is actually against what Christianity preaches on its own. It's like identifying yourself, being in touch with yourself, being in touch with your Creator, you know. So it's on a deeper level. And I have told people this, I've had conversations with people on this, like, I think in this age, people mistake religion for spirituality a lot. So they feel like, because I'm going to church, I'm doing all these things, I'm working in church, I'm a church worker, I'm a chorister and all of that, I'm serving God. That makes me the perfect Christian. And I don't align with that. I feel like the true expression of Christianity and you being Christ-like is what is inside you, is what you carry, and how well you tap into it, and how well you express that in your day-to-day activities. It's not the things that you are doing alone inside the church. It's the things that you are actually doing outside the church, where people can actually see you and be like, oh, the way they behave, the way they interact with the world is completely different. So that's my idea of Christianity. That's my idea of spirituality. And I genuinely believe people mistake that for being religious.
And this is what Yeshua actually preached as well. But you have to go read what he actually preached and go deeper into it, not just read for what is there. He said all these things, go within. You know, he said all these things.
Fair.
You need to just go and discover for yourself. If you open your mind to that, not only your mind but your heart as well, you have to see it for what it actually is, and then go and tap into that discovery, because we have been taught things from people who don't know themselves.
Right.
You know, the same people you walk into the building of are the same people that crucified Yeshua.
Why do you use Yeshua?
Because that is his actual name. But Yeshua was not the only person. You know, he was not the only person, but he came to speak. Came to speak the truth.
Person.
Yeah, like Yeshua is not the only person that knew and came out and spoke the truth.
Right. And by the
you know,
truth,
because there were generations before that.
For you.
You know, where there might have been someone like him, like you and I, who realized and spoke out, but then got silenced in a way or whatever. You know, you have to go back. You have to look at ancient. You have to look at what was there before religion. Religion is man-made. You see, so is the Bible. It's all man-made. But you have to see it that way. You have to open yourself to that, and then dive into that and let it be your own journey.
I mean, like, this is
that is how I see it.
This is really deep, yeah. I think it just became like a gospel Christianity conversation all of a sudden.
Because when you say, are we omnipresent? Like, when I walk in certain rooms or certain places, I just feel like I'm that, you know? So you can kind of project where you are from yourself. So you could, when you are in a place, you either become one with that place, or you want to be out of that place because that place has maybe has taken over your own self. So that again, you become the environment you are in a certain way. So you kind of are omnipresent.
This thing that you just said just led me to the next question that I wanted to ask you. Right, like I've noticed that,
and I'm still learning myself. So don't come. I'm not trying to speak like I know it all, because I don't. We don't.
Nobody actually knows it all. And to be honest, what this brand, this pod stands for is the awareness.
Yeah.
Nobody has ever been on here and claimed that they know everything. No, we are all learning. We are all trying to find ourselves. We are all trying to better ourselves. So, if anything, these conversations are just awareness. They are just way of just, alerting us that, okay, there is something here.
Yeah.
There's something you should explore here. So if there is an episode that struck a nerve and you align with it, you can always just read up on it, do more research on it, fast check things and check out things, find a way that you could actually personally incorporate those things to improve your life in any area that you feel like you need it. So it's one of the reasons why we're doing this. How do you connect with your environment? How do you remain present in your environment?
Being present in my environment, what allows me to be present in my environment is through my breath. And like I said, I'm still learning myself. This is all part of my journey, so there are moments where I'm not present, there are moments where my mind is somewhere else, but I'm aware of that, and I'm able to come back to my breath and use that to center myself, to align myself,
How do you do that?
So I would say breathing is key.
Breathing.
Yeah.
Just that's
even if you want to do that, then I consciously took a breath, but ideally you want to just breathe from the belly. You want to bring the breath from down all the way up, and then back out, and be aware of how that feels.
Can we do that now?
You can. So you have different ways of doing it. You could breathe through your mouth.
Okay.
Ideally, you wanna, because most of our breaths are quite shallow, and that then causes anxious thoughts, or you're not in the moment because you're breathing shallow. That's why people get depressed, or because you're pressing down on what actually needs to expand. So you want to breathe from your belly and like spread your diaphragm. So when you take a breath, you want to consciously focus on not like really expanding your chest.
Like this?
Not like expanding your chest, but expanding like your belly and like below your ribs.
Okay.
You know? And that's a whole different type of breath. And then you could just breathe out and do that a couple of times. But be aware of that.
So how many times do I need to do this
so
to remain present?
Depending on the situation, you know, if you feel like your mind is taking you places other than where you are, just do like one conscious deep breath. But if you want to take it a bit further, then you could breathe in for like a count of 4. This is like a basic way of breathing. They call it box breathing. You breathe in for a count of 4. Then you hold for a count of 4. You sigh out for a count of 4. Hold for a count of 4. And you do that continuously.
Okay.
If you want to do that on a daily basis, you could do that for 5 minutes.
Okay, let me give that a go. So I should go again?
Yeah, you do that continuously.
Oh, okay.
You know? And then you're going to feel your nervous system. You're just going to be more relaxed.
Yeah.
Then you gain clarity of what's going on. There are different breaths. You could do 4 in, hold for 7, out for 8, and then repeatedly.
And this actually works?
It does.
Personally, you would recommend it?
Yeah.
100%.
It's all in the breath, bro.
I feel you.
It's all in the breath.
There is...
Then you align everything from within, and you align yourself with, if you want to call it universe, or, you know, if you align, you have that, it's like yin and yang. If you have that flow between the two, and you're constantly flowing between the two, but in order for that to happen, you must breathe. You know, you must breathe to align yourself.
I feel you, man. I feel you. And one last question that I want to ask before we go and round up, right? For someone who's listening right now and they want to begin small steps to live more intentionally and practice moving with intent, what are the introductory steps? What are the little steps that they can take to just make that an habit and get better with it, to change?
I would say the best thing is gratitude. That definitely, but I feel like most people know that, and slowing it down. You know, slowing it down in the sense of, it's okay. Let's say you have certain things you want to improve, and it's not aligning immediately. It's not working out immediately. It's okay, you know, because before it went a bad way, it took a long time for those things to accumulate for it to go that way. So when you want it to go another way, it's going to be normal. It's normal that the other way is going to resist itself. You always want to like go back to where you're coming from. It's normal. So it also takes time to improve yourself. Okay. So slow down and look at the things you actually want to improve on. Let's say 5 things you want to learn, 5 new habits. You know, write them all down and then focus on these habits for like the next 2 weeks. And after 2 weeks, you might just be doing one thing out of those 5 things that you wrote down. And that's okay. You're making progress. Okay.
Yeah.
Rather than if you haven't done one thing out of those 5, you start stressing that, oh, I'm not improving. It's okay. Write 5 things down. Take one thing, focus on that one thing. Then that has become a new habit. And that's okay. That's perfect. Then add another thing on that list. So you're not even thinking about number 1 on the list, because that has become a natural habit now. You're just doing that because you took the time to develop that. Okay. So that is what I would say. Just slow it down and give yourself some clarity and forgive yourself along the line.
Man, that's powerful, man. I appreciate you coming on the pod. This has been an amazing conversation. Definitely, this one I'm going to remember for a very, very long time. I don't think I'm ever going to forget this episode for different many reasons. So, for someone who wants to reach out to you, what are you doing right now? What are you currently working on? And give us the socials and how to contact you. Best way to contact you. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you wanna follow my journey, it's my Instagram page is Simple Intent. Simple Intent, I believe, with 3 T's on the end.
Do you want to check it?
Let me quickly check. It will be.
We'll write it down. Okay.
It will be Simple Intent with 3 T's, if I'm not mistaken. And Simple Intent is just another way for to describe Intenso, what I stand for. I'm gonna quickly read what it stands for, so that gives you a bit of clarity. Okay, so Intenso, where intensity meets vision, flow begins, and this means living with purpose, balancing effort with surrender, discipline with presence. And I don't really like the word discipline anymore. It's more like self-devotion with presence, and ambition with authenticity. Okay, not just about healing, but empowering others to discover their own strength by fully stepping into my own truth. I'm currently flowing towards a life with clarity, connection, and a powerful life where my foundation is strong, my vision is clear, and my presence inspires. Okay, every moment, every breath, every choice aligns me with purpose and essence of who I am becoming. So if you want to follow that journey, again, Simple Intent, and I hope you follow the journey, because I trust that when you follow that journey, that will allow you to find grace in your journey.
Oh, thank you, man. I really appreciate that. That was really powerful. I'm going to need you to send me that, because I feel like it's something that I need to print out.
You want to read it? I even wrote more, but that's just like in a nutshell.
Yeah. And guys, you can follow the Urbane Bloke Experience podcast on all our social media platforms. You can reach out to us. Thank you guys for sticking around. Thank you guys for rocking with us. Thank you for being on this pod with us. And I'll see you next time. Remember, as you go through your week, always remain urbane, remain refined, and move with intent.
Yes.
Right? See ya. Peace.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Obrigado.
Hey, clapping is a powerful thing as well. So clap more for yourself with good intentions. Honestly.
Thank you.